Hey guys, welcome back to the Freelancer podcast. I'm super excited to be chatting with Jose Rosado. Okay, so this is going to be an awesome chat. I did chat to Jose on his YouTube channel, and it was really an awesome conversation. We were actually just chatting about it previously. So with that said, I'm not going to hog the intro. Jose, tell us about yourself, who you are, and what do you do?
My only regret about our last podcast is that I recorded it with the AirPods instead of this microphone. I remember that I had it all configured, but I forgot to make the change in Zoom. So I recorded everything with crappy audio. I regretted that, man. After that, I established different processes so I can never forget about putting the good microphone.
But you can redeem yourself now. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to redeem myself today. Thank you for inviting me, my man. And so for anyone that doesn't know who I am, I'm just a guy who likes tweeting stuff. And the stuff that I tweet about usually helps people make more money, sell courses, get more clients, learn about sales, learn about persuasion, and just getting better at life. That's what I usually tweet about. And what I've noticed is that I don't even tweet for other people. I tweet for myself. When I tweet about like discipline and stuff like that, it's because I'm lacking a little bit of discipline, and it's just a self reminder to like, Jose, put in the work, because every time you stop being disciplined, you get stressed, you get anxious, you get frustrated with not being able to achieve what you're doing because of your lack of action. So I'm just a guy who likes tweeting, who has made a good income thanks to Twitter. And today I focus more on teaching others how to do what I used to do, which was freelancing and agency work. And at the moment, I'm focused more on also teaching people how to sell, how to get clients, and just be better humans, man, and be better to each other. It's very simple. I'm from Dominican Republic, by the way. I was born and raised, and I still live here, and I will live here until like shit hits the fan. Hopefully it will not. But if it does, I have my escape plan ready. And I started my journey of like freelancing and stuff like that, like since 2010. I'm 34 years old, by the way.
Wow.
2010, I believe. 2010? Yes, more or less that time. But it was never like a full-time thing. It was me just experimenting. My dad asked me to create his website, to design some flyers. I went to the university and I studied graphic design, which, listen, don't study graphic design at college. Like, you can learn that with YouTube today and age. I made a mistake, but still, I graduated from college in graphic design, which one of the few regrets I've had. Anyhow, after a while, I got my 9-to-5 job like everyone. I started building my portfolio. And for some reason, people started communicating with me and contacting me for creating websites and graphic design and stuff like that. I don't really know how that happened, but it was very serendipitous, man. Like, I created some websites for my dad, for an aunt, for my godmother, which was my first client ever, my first paid client ever, and for my who is my wife now. Back then she was my girlfriend. For her church group, I created the website. It seems that some people took notice of all of that and they started calling me, and I started making money thanks to web design. But the money was not enough. It was not enough for me to feel comfortable with my income. So, I just kept hammering at the wall in a 9-to-5 job, trying to make more money, trying to grow in the corporate ladder, which eventually I scaled to the point where I was like director of marketing in a company that I used to work at. Thing is that it was a random Thursday or Wednesday, I don't recall. I was like in front of the computer, just, planning my day. I get an email. The email says, the company must survive. And I'm like, I used to work for a time with people in human resources. I know they love these clickbait subject lines. Screw it. A couple of moments later, one of my coworkers approached me and said, Jose, did you read the email? And I'm like, yeah, tell me, read it. The guy went away. I opened my Outlook. I read the email, and they were saying that the company must survive. The biggest client they had fired us. That client made us like 80% of the revenue, which is stupid. Don't ever depend on one client. But the company, like the business where I used to work at back in 2016, just decided to like fire basically everyone. Okay. So a month prior to that, I was offered the position of director of marketing. And I'm like, everything will be fine. I came home. I slept well. I didn't even tell my wife. Next day, everything was okay. Thing is, I sat right next to the human resources department. So from basically 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., I'm looking at people going into the human resource department with a big smile and going outside like all teared up and sad face and just just walking very slowly. So I saw how all of these beautiful cubicles, because we had beautiful cubicles filled with photos and color and all of that, just family photos of kids and all of that. I saw how all of that became just gray, coffee stained tables because people they packed and they went away. So it's like 5 p.m. on that. It's Friday, by the way. And I'm like, okay, it's 5 p.m. I didn't get fired. Cool. I'm packing all of my stuff. And just when I'm about to leave, the human resources woman called me. Jose, come here. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh crap. What's going to happen? I don't have any savings. I just got a raise. And because of that raise, financial raise, like more money, my wife had quit her job. She was jobless. We had a 6-month-year-old kid, our firstborn, Javier. And I'm like thinking of all of these things, seeing my kids starving to death, my wife throwing herself out of like a window or whatever. I'm like slowly pacing, going to the human resources department. And I opened the door really slowly because I'm like, I don't want to get fired. How can I make this happen that I don't get fired? And it occurred to me to tell the human resources person like about all of our times together, because I used to work in human resources. I was going to emotionally blackmail her. So I didn't get fired. I thought about everything I was going to say. And she just like, when I opened the door, she said with a big smile, like, hey, Jose, how are you? And I'm like, okay, she's smiling. That's a good thing. And then she teared up. And that's when I knew I was going to get fired. And that day I got fired. I went home. I took the longest route to home. It usually takes me 5 minutes to get from that place to where I used to live back then. It took me like 10 minutes to get it home because it was too close. And imagine me going to my wife, who was just recently quit her job, telling her, Brenda, I got fired. All of that money that they were promising me, I didn't even cash the first check. So I was screwed. That first month, I was still like in shock. And I'm like in bed, just like messing around on YouTube, Twitter, and whatever. I just said to myself, like, I'm going to take a vacation. I'm tired. I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Nevertheless, like 3 months later, I was already back to my feet. How? Let's talk about how to get clients. I want to talk about how to get clients. It's very simple. If you're getting started on freelancing, first, don't wait to get fired. That's the first thing. You can freelance when you have a 9-to-5 job. And all you have to do is like tell the person, like, I was very straightforward with my clients. I have a 9-to-5 job, so I only take calls after 5 p.m. If you want to contact me, send me an email. I'll reply to the email at noon or something like that. And nobody ever told me, well, that doesn't matter. Well, I don't need you. No, nobody, man. Every single one of my clients were like, yeah, that's okay. No worries. Just make sure to reply to my emails and my text messages, and I'm okay. So That's the first thing. You need to be clear with the expectations of the clients that have with you. You tell them when they can contact you. And if they say no, screw them. You are the prize. The freelancer is the prize. You're the one who has the solution to their problems. They have a big problem. You have the solution. You have the carrot. They are like the horse that want to eat the carrot, and you lure them and you get paid when they eat the carrot. If they don't want the carrot, they can find any other carrot from any other freelancer, and that's okay. People, you freelancers, you agency owners, you need to understand that you are the prize. Okay, you set the expectations, you set the conditions, the terms and conditions in which you're going to be working with the person. And if they don't agree to that, next, swipe left or swipe right. What is it? I don't know, because I'm not in dating sites anymore. I've never was, by the way. Anyhow, so how did I get those first clients after I got fired? Well, I did have other clients from back in the days, but now I need to actively search for clients. How do you do that? How do you go from passive clients generation, serendipity and referrals, to getting people to pay you, strangers to pay you, people that in the past maybe had paid you or not, or a project just didn't pan out? How do you do that? First, you need to fire yourself. Stop being a little bit at quits. That's the first step. By the way, does it matter if I curse?
I'll just beep it out, you know. But carry on. Do your thing.
Or cursing, so you don't have to be beeping out. Okay, that's so. First, you gain the courage. Let's say gain the courage to approach people. And today in age, it's so much easier than just like our grandparents and our parents that had to go knocking door to door. I cannot imagine doing that. All you have to do is get someone's email, contact them, send an email, and just send them as many emails until they say, dude, leave me alone. And even if they do that, keep following up until they say like, okay, blocked, or okay, let's meet. You need to gain that courage of being told, no, I don't need your services. If you don't have it, start like this. Reach out to all of the people that you've met in the past. You go to contacts.google.com. You'll find all of the emails that you sent in, all of the email addresses of people that you've sent emails to in the past. Start reading each of those. See who of these people might need your services and approach them through an email. And if you have the phone, screw it, call them and tell them, hey, I just started a freelancing business, a web design started. In my case, it was freelance web design. I just started a freelance web design business. I was taking a look. You don't have a website. I would love to hop on a quick call that we can book today to figure out how we can start working together. As simple as that. You can be a little bit more refined, you know, with the message, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Here's the thing. No matter the industry in which you are, there are two main things to make money. Thing number one, drive traffic, meaning getting people to click on your face on Twitter, meaning people to click on your links, meaning people clicking on your stuff on your website. Driving traffic, getting people inside the places that you want them to get inside in the digital domain, by the way. And the second one is closing deals. No matter the industry, if you get the clicks or you drive the traffic through email, okay, and you get people on the phone call or to agree to a meeting, okay, you now have the process. And it's a game of numbers. The more traffic you drive to your offers, the more traffic you drive to your booking calendar, the more traffic you drive to your information product, if you have one of those, the higher are your chances of getting a sale or getting someone to book a call with you. So bear in mind, you need to contact a lot of people. Don't be like how I used to be 10 years ago, that I just waited for people to approach me and say, Jose, I need a website. Don't do that. Do it actively. Find people in your contact list. Find people on Google. Find people on your Google Maps. Find people on Twitter, on Instagram. Approach them and risk getting rejected. Okay. And here's a number. For every 100 people you contact, you might get 2 or 3, maybe 5 phone calls. That is just like a baseline, let's say. For every 100 people that you contact out of the blue to offer them your services, you might get 5 people to say, yes, let's meet. Let's have a quick Zoom meeting. Maybe. It could be as low as 1 or even 0. But if you don't do this, nobody else is going to do this for you. Now, there are many ways to automate this process, but at first, it's not about finding ways to automate. It's about getting the courage of contacting these people. This is how you get your clients, your first client or your 10th or 100th client. You drive traffic to the offer and you close deals on the phone.
I like that.
A big rant, right?
It was a big rant, but I like it. I like it. Okay, so a lot was said, and we can go into very different tangents to expand on different stuff here, which would be awesome. But I think where I think it will be cool and helpful for the listeners would be to focus, as you said, on getting clients, pricing your services, and pretty much branding and selling. And I think sort of to focus on that would be helpful. Now, with that said, you mentioned something very key, and that is like contacting a lot of people, because the fact is most clients or prospective clients say no, they're not interested, or they just don't get back to you. And I want you to touch on that mindset and approach that successful freelancers or freelancers would need to deal with that rejection, number one. And number two, it also reminds me of probably about six months ago, I chatted to this guy who bought one of my freelancing products, right? And he said it's not working. You know, he's struggling, he's not getting clients, things like that. So my next follow-up question is...
never contact anyone, right?
So my next follow-up question...
No email sent. Has he driven traffic to the offer?
What have you done, right? How many clients have you tried to contact? Guess what his answer was? 7. And obviously there's...
100.
Yes, exactly. So if you can sort of touch on that and sort of explain the importance from a strategic psychological approach of like how important it is from a numbers game and also the mindset, I would say let's just start from that foundation.
So back in 2017, 18, I was into freelancing a little bit more. I spent 2 years from 2016 to 2018 freelancing, actively freelancing. And here's the thing. When I was not prospecting and trying to find clients and trying to close deals, something horrible happened to me every freaking night. I got a twitch in my eye from stress and anxiety. I woke up with my hands trembling and my heart just racing like a Mustang in the plain fields, because I was not making as much money as I needed to pay my mortgage, to buy things for my family. So all of that stress and anxiety channeled itself out of my body through like twitches and heart palpitations and weird aches in my body and weird sensations in my skin, which is all related to stress and anxiety if you have a lot of it. So imagine yourself stressed, thinking you're going to die, waking up like literally thinking you're going to die. That has happened to me in the past. Compare that to getting one tiny no from one stupid client. Which is worse? Like that of waking up and not being able to sleep well and all the body bad sensations is 10 times worse. That's hell. I know how hell feels like. So whenever I'm feeling a little bit anxious, it's always an indication that I'm not driving enough traffic. I'm not getting enough sales call, I'm not getting as much money as I planned to make, always happens to me. So think about yourself in the worst situations you've been in your life. This is a great exercise, by the way, to bring context to the no's and the rejection. What's the worst that can happen if you fail to follow up on clients? What's the worst that can happen if you don't get new clients? Think about that and imagine it in such a way that you can even feel it in your body. It has to be visceral, man. You have to feel it inside your gut. And compare that to getting a stupid no from someone. That's how you start getting over the fear of getting rejected, by scaring the hell out of you with something worse. Or I've noticed that some people don't like that kind of exercise. You can go the positive route. What's the best thing that can happen if you get a no? Well, you can follow up on the client and maybe that client says yes. Or maybe you can think, okay, this client said no, I dodged a bullet. Let me go to the next one until I get the yes. Now, what other things can happen if you reach out to more clients, despite of getting no's? Eventually, I can guarantee you, you will get someone to say, yes, let's have a phone call. And then you have the phone call, you show them your services, you hear it out to find out their pains, their aspirations, their goals, their struggles, what they've done in the past, what has worked, what has not worked, all of that. And you pitch your service and you get paid. That's the best that can happen after getting 5, 10, 100 no's. You get one yes. And that's all you need. That's all you need. Think about this. Once you turn something you deem impossible into possible, all you have to do is repeat the process to turn that impossible into possible once again. Example, I don't know how to get clients. I got my first client. Remember, which are the steps that you took to get that first client? Repeat that over and over and over again and make it better and develop your system, develop your processes, develop the way of getting clients. And who knows, maybe you develop a new way of getting clients, and then you can sell as a digital product, which is a nice way to make money as a freelancer too. Growing a brand on Instagram or Twitter, talking about how to freelance or how to run an agency, how to get clients. You sell that and you make more money through digital products than making money selling stuff and websites to people. So that is a process, man. You either scare the hell out of you to compare it with getting a no or rejected, or you think about what is the best thing that can happen if I get a no. You have two approaches. You can use the one that fits better your personality.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's great. And it sort of sums it up very well. And it's almost like being proactive instead of reactive, you know? I mean, if you really look at the successful freelancers, I mean, look, let's just face it. The more you're in the freelancing game and the more experience you have, eventually clients come to you through referrals, which is great. And it almost gets easier because you're more experienced and clients just come to you. So it's just like a win-win. But to get to that point, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about to put in the work and the effort and to really grind to sort of get your first few clients so that eventually it can lead to, you know, clients coming to you. And I love that mindset and approach. So before we touch on pricing, maybe just to wrap up on the client side, obviously getting clients, there are like dozens of ways, right? If you could narrow it down based on your experience or advice, could you maybe narrow down to like 5 key areas or 3 or 5 key areas on what you suggest for freelancers to get clients?
2 areas: drive traffic, close deals. That's it. It works for every freaking industry. Drive traffic, getting people to click your face on emails or Instagram or Twitter or anything. That's it. That's how you drive traffic. It also works for digital products. You post a link, people click it, they read the copy, and they say, okay, this is what I need, buy. With cold emails, for example, which is a great way to get freelancing clients, people read the headline. Yo, open this. It could be something as stupid as that. Literally, yo, open me. Literally as stupid as a yo, open me subject line. It works. Try it out. Like, I'm not even joking. Yo, open me. And then you tell them like, hey, John, you tell them something positive about their brand or something that you notice in their website or whatever. And that's the first line, to get their attention. Something that is heartfelt, emotional. I just noticed that you wanna, let's say, I just noticed that you won an award on XYZ. Congratulations, man. That's what happens when you like put in the work. By the way, my name is Rosado. I work in the web design industry, helping specifically people in your industry. Let's say car industry. I have some ideas, and you can like detail some of the ideas on how to get your car dealership to close more deals and get more traffic or whatever through your website. If this sounds like something you might be interested in, reply to me and we can set up a call to have a quick chat. That is a process, okay, of driving traffic through cold email marketing. The same process is, you can use this same process on direct messages on Twitter or on Instagram. Literally copy paste the same idea and send it to the person. Now, the trick is to get the email of the decision maker, of the person that says, yes, swipe credit card, okay? How do you do that? That is what most people don't know. I've been tinkering with new apps in regards to finding these emails, and it's I have one that's very cost effective and that gives you not only the emails, but also the LinkedIn profile. So you can contact them in emails or LinkedIn. The name of this app is called Clean Leads with a K. KLEADN. Sorry, man. I can't spell in English. It's so hard, man. Clean, it's good. Like KLEAN leads, LEADS.com. You go there, you subscribe, it's like $40 a month. You get 1,000 emails from the decision makers, because you can let the app know, I want the director's emails, I want the CEO emails, I want the owner's email. You get all of these emails, you start researching each of these people, because you get the links to their website, the email, and the LinkedIn profile. And you see if you can actually, let me rephrase that. And you see if you want to work with them. And if you do, you research them and you send them a cold email, telling them something about their brand, something that you admire from something that you found that is worthy of admiration during your research. You tell them a little bit about your services, a tiny bit. If this sounds interesting, let's hop on a call. Are you free this week? And do that 100, 200, 1,000 times. And I can guarantee you that eventually you'll get a sale. Now, after you get the person in the phone call, that's what I call like closed deals. Driving traffic with cold emails, sending emails to 100 people, get 5 people on the phone call. Now we go to step 2, phase 2, sales, closing the deal. This is my favorite part, because so many freelancers are like so bad at sales. People think that sales is about convincing someone to buy. No. Sales is not about convincing someone to buy. Sales is not about talking about how great your services are or how much you can do or deliver for the person. That is not sales. Sales is actually a conversation in which you, the freelancer, asks a bunch of questions to figure out if the person actually has a problem that you can solve. And if you can solve it, then you proceed to say, okay, here's how I can solve it. I'll charge you $5,000. We can get started today. And you wait for payment, okay? Now, the process of closing deals is very straightforward. First, you need to discover what is the technical problem. The technical problem could be, I don't have a website. My landing page is not converting. Another example, I need a new landing page for this new product launch. That could be a technical problem. Another technical problem, my SEO doesn't work. I want to find myself in the first pages of Google. Technical problem. We all know what a technical problem is, okay? And once we find this technical problem, we find the real problem, which is the emotional problem. That is the real problem. I see myself as a psychologist. I'm going to fix your brain. How? By providing a solution for your technical problem. So all of your emotional tension that is caused by this problem vanish. Let's say my landing page is not converting. Let me rephrase that. Technical problem. Example, my landing page is converting. It's a 1% conversion rate. Industry standard is 2.3, 0.7%. I need that to be to that place. 2-3% conversion rate. That's a technical problem. The emotional tension is usually, I'm worried. I'm overwhelmed with the fact that my ads are not converting or my copy is not converting. I'm worried that maybe my product is not good enough. What is happening? I'm getting anxious. I'm getting stressed. I'm getting, there's so many emotions, man. You memorize a couple of emotions and you'll be able like to convey people's ideas. I'm sad. I'm hopeless. I feel hopeless. I'm about to resign and just like not do this anymore. I'm confused because I spent so much money on this thing and it's not working. So it's stressing me out. As you can see, all of these emotional tensions and emotions that people are experiencing come from this technical problem. Your job as the salesperson is to tie the technical problem with the emotional tension. And if you successfully tie them together, it will skyrocket your close rate. The close rate is basically the percentage of people that you close after you get them on the phone. You'll experience a huge leap in how many people say, yes, where can I pay? Why? Because people love feeling heard. If you can summarize the technical problem and tie it to the emotional tension in a way that the person feels like, okay, this person actually heard me, you begin to plant the seed of trust. And trust is the number one factor to getting paid. That's the number one thing. If you develop trust successfully, you are going to get paid. Think about yourself. Have you ever paid someone that you don't trust? You never do that. You just never do that. Okay. Same thing happens with people that you're selling your freelancing services.
Except for taxes.
That's a different topic. I don't want to get into taxes.
Okay, great. Yeah, you actually touched on so many gems and gold mines there, especially with the crucial aspect of sales, but also understanding more of the concept of sales, because let's face it, right? I mean, maybe you don't know this, but over the years, I've gotten better at sales. But the first sales call I had, I literally picked up the phone and I was and and sort of canceled it. You know, canceled it straight away. I was so nervous and I just didn't know what to say, you know. And I just want to also, you know, encourage others who are listening or watching that it's not going to be perfect. Your first few calls, like, I mean, it took me many calls before I'm actually quite a lot more confident on the phone and I'm able to handle objections that actually make sense, right? So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I think it's great advice from your side. Now, I want to move on now to pricing, right? You in Dominican Republic, is that a third world country?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm also in a third world country, South Africa. And for both of us, the dollar to our currency is obviously very good. So getting paid in dollars is great.
Paid in dollars, spending pesos.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the currency in your country? What's the name of the currency?
It's called Rand, R-A-N-D.
Rand.
Yeah, that's it.
Make money in dollars, spend in rands.
That's it. I love it.
That's a dream.
Yeah. So the point I want to get to, yeah, right, is we've all gotten clients. We both probably have existing clients from, you know, all around the world. So it should be easier, right? If someone's in, you know, first world country and all this stuff, but we can at least speak from experience. I would say, I don't want to say this as a bad way, but it's just a fact, like as a bad third world country, or like, you know, as a worst case scenario, because I think that it is much easier for Americans to do business with Americans. It's just just how it sort of goes with, you know, how business is done there and ease of doing business and all of that type of stuff. But the point I want to get to is, from our perspective, how do you speak to someone who's a listener who's in a third world country, as a, you know, as a benchmark? How should they price their services, and what are you actually selling here?
People that don't live in the United States and live in, let's say, third world countries or not as advanced technologically countries, that's an unfair advantage. It is unfair advantage. I'm going to put this through the lens of using lower wages and lower prices to further your life. You have the unfair advantage that you don't need $5,000 a month to live. So you don't have the urgency to make $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 every month. You just don't have that urgency. With an extra $1,000, if you live in a third world country, you can live your full month easily. If you reframe this as an unfair advantage, that you don't need a lot of money to, you know, live your lifestyle, you don't have to hurry to get your first $1,000, $2,000 client. You just don't. You can take your time and you can face the blows of getting no's and rejected until you get that person to pay you $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, who knows? That's an unfair advantage that you have over people in more advanced, technologically advanced countries. Use that to your favor, man. It doesn't mean that you're going to be charging less money, but it means that you only need one client that pays you a little bit more than what you're used to in your country to pay for a month of spendings in your month, in your life. Think about that. That's an unfair advantage that you have over people that make more money. So taking this into consideration, how should you price your services? And this is applicable to anyone that lives in a third world country or just doesn't matter. First, stop charging on hourly. You know, it's good to charge hourly if you charge $1,000 per hour, but if you're not charging $1,000 words per hour, $1,000 per hour, it's not worth it. Charging $10 per hour, $20 per hour, it's not a good way to spend your time. A better way is to package your services in such a way that you only approach people that need that service. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to build a single landing pages for $1,000, screw that. Find clients that need the full website, the whole website with copy and all of that crap, and charge $5,000, $7,000. That's how it's done. You decide which other clients that you're going to be working on, and you only work with these people. And you say no to the $1,000 that you're going to get paid for, let's say, a single landing page. That is how it's done. It's not trying to serve everyone. Oh, I want to get the extra $1,000. Screw the $1,000. You want the $5,000, and you're going to say no to that $1,000, even if someone tells you, here's the money. You're going to say no because you're selling your time. And a better way to sell your time, because you're still selling your time, even though you're packaging it in like a bigger website, is to charge more money. So you don't have to be saying like, I'm going to charge you $10 per hour, or I'm going to charge you $1,000 for a landing page only. Okay. So that's the first thing. Stop charging hourly. Second step, if you are a 100% beginner, work for free. But to who? With whom? With your parents, with some family members, and with some friends. Why? Because you want the portfolio. Why? Because you want the social proof. You want the testimonials. Testimonials are golden, man. That's money. Why? Here's the thing. We are social creatures. And when we are in doubt, we see what other people are doing. And when other people are doing something, you feel safe doing that something. Have you ever gone to Amazon and you start reading the reviews and you buy because you read a review from someone that you don't even know? That's social proof. Testimonials are a form of social proof. It's a review of your service, okay? Once you get those testimonials, you can start charging something. Start at $500 or $1,000, not less than that. Anything less than $500 or $1,000 is just a waste of your time. It's just a waste of your time. And here's the thing. Here's what most people don't like hearing. You need to start pricing low, $500 to $1,000 at first. Once you get your first 5, 10 clients or something like that, you start charging a little bit more, $1,500, $3,000. You can even be bold and double your prices and go to $5,000 like instantly. But you need the receipts. You need to have the proof that what you do works. Because getting paid $5,000 for the first website that you're going to be creating, that is a recipe for success, a recipe for failure. You're going to fail hard. Why? Because you don't have the experience of dealing with a website before. So build up your skill set, get the freaking testimonials from family members and friends and acquaintances, then start charging money to even your family members, because you now have the proof that what you do work, and the testimonials, of course, and start raising your prices gradually. If you do this for 1 or 2 years, by the second year, you can be charging $5,000 to $10,000 for a freaking website, man. And this is not even a stretch. I have a student, his name is Matthias. He's from Germany. He hired me for me to teach him a little bit more about content creation and sales, because he uses content creation to drive traffic to his offer using LinkedIn, okay? And he was struggling with the content creation and specifically also with the sales. And he's only been freelancing for 2 years, 2 years, graphic designer, web designer. And he charges a minimum for a landing page, $5,000, euros, sorry.
Wow.
Euros. Wow. He's like 24, 25, but he has the proof that what he does works. And he works with people that, of course, can afford that. SaaS companies and startups that they have unlimited money. So it took him 2 years to go from 0 to 5, 6. He has closed $10,000 and even more bigger deals. Why? He has the social proof. Get the social proof, raise your prices. 1, 2 years doing this, you'll be able to charge $5,000, $10,000. Not with ease, but easier than when you started out.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I am curious because I do agree with everything you mentioned, by the way, hourly and this sort of pricing structure. But I just want to maybe ask you to clarify on, is it based on experience, charging that 3,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 for projects or whatever? Or is it just based on your minimum desired income that you would like let's say you would like your desired salary to be 5,000 a month, therefore you need to charge 7,000 or 8,000 to after tax and all of that type of stuff. Is it based on that, or is it actually based on the potential value to the client? Is it a combination of things? I'd love to know your thoughts there.
Here's how I price my stuff. I want to make $5,000. I'm going to price it for $5,000. That's it. People love overcomplicating pricing. And I understand. We humans love processes and step-by-steps and secrets. We love those kind of things. There's something called like value-based pricing, which is basically, it's a really interesting concept. It's just knowing how much value the client assigns to that and charge more. Let's say that someone's going to make $10,000 with a website. You cannot charge $10,000 for someone who's going to make $10,000. But if that person is going to make $500,000 with that new website, because it's an e-commerce website or whatever, you can charge $50,000 to that person. You can charge even more than that. So value-based pricing is more on who you are targeting than like real value. Like it's not, If the client is making a lot of money, he'll be able to afford more. Just find people that make more money. How do you know if they're making money? You can ask them. How many clients are you serving at the moment? What's your conversion rate? What's the price of this article? How many users do you get a month in that landing page? You do the math, and you more or less know how much money they're making. So you don't even have to ask them like, how much money do you make? You just add up the conversion rate and the number of clients they have and the price that they charge, and you more or less know how much money they're making. So value-based pricing is just an overcomplication of find clients that make a lot of money and sell them a way to make more money. Or find clients who are bleeding a lot of money, that have a lot of money, and you can save them a lot of money. That is value-based pricing in a nutshell. Find people who can afford you and get paid. Of course, there's many more insights in regards to how to sell those kind of stuff. But I'm not fit to tell you how to charge $100,000 for a service, because I've never charged $100,000 for a service. When I do, I want you to interview me so I can tell you how to do that. But for the moment, I cannot tell you something that's how to charge $100,000 for something.
Deal. I like it. Okay, so we've said a lot, and I think it's been great so far. I just want to wrap up with this. So I've got your Twitter in front of me. You've got almost 70,000 followers. And something caught my eye. I saw it recently, like the other day. Your pinned tweet. Let me read it. Just the first tweet. How I am going to make $1 million in the next 16 months with an almost new business venture, and why you should care. A thread by Jose Rosado. So
let me retweet that right
now. So please give us a quick overview of this. What's it about, and how are you going to do it?
The reason I posted that tweet is to force myself to actually do it. I regret posting the tweet. Why? Because I knew I was going to regret it, because this is adding unneeded stress to my life, because I now have a goal of making $1 million in the next 16 months with the almost new business venture, which is basically my web design agency. I regret posting that tweet. I knew I was going to regret it, but I posted either way. Why? Because people love courage. Let's circle back to the starting point of this conversation. People love courage. And when you're courageous, great things happen to you. For example, that tweet got me a couple of DMs of people who want the website. And I'm having a couple of calls after tomorrow. I have a couple of calls for new websites just because of that. I have my process. And even though I still have not started with it, because I'm delegating everything I'm doing at the moment so I can focus all of my energy in that one big goal of making $1 million with my web design agency. So I'm delegating everything throughout this month of September so I can actually achieve that, because it's a lot of money. $1 million, no matter where you live, it's still a lot of money. And if you go through the tweet, you'll learn everything, how I structure my deals, the value ladder, the niche. No, I don't talk about the niche. The outreach channels, how to find clients, fulfillment, how to organize. It's a very comprehensive thread. Anyhow, my plan, here's the plan in a nutshell. Drive a lot of traffic, close a lot of deals. That is a process, man. It doesn't matter where you are. Drive a lot of traffic to the offer, close a lot of deals. At the moment, I'm building the systems to do that slowly, because it's not that I don't need the $1 million. I want the $1 million, but it's not like I need it right now, because Twitter makes me good money from the course selling. But I want to do it great. I used to do it very well, but now I want to do it really, really well. I'm hiring new freelancers. I'm filtering through the bad ones. I'm delegating some of the content creation for my stuff. I write it, but I used to edit it and stuff like that. Now I have someone who is editing all of that. the videos that I post on Instagram, I'm just going to record once a month, 10, 20 videos.
Nice.
And then I also delegated to the editing to someone else. YouTube videos, same. I was doing all of that myself. I'm not doing it anymore. But I'm going to be focused on just writing a little bit of content and running the agency. So my plan at the moment is to start with the agency work 100%. Only focus on that on October after that's my content creation and my managing my all of the things that, you know, course creation and other deals that I have are delegated in a way that I feel comfortable and it's within the budget that I planned for myself. So it's a really interesting challenge because it's not new making money selling websites, but I want to sell for the first time a website for $50,000 or more. How I'm going to do that, I'm not yet sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I've closed $5,000, $10,000 websites. So the difference between, like I told you, the difference between a $10,000 website and a $50,000 website is actually the client. This is the client. It's not the money. Is the client making a lot of money? Yes, you can charge more money to the client. That is the process in a nutshell. Finding the clients is the hard part, but eventually I'll get to the point where people will approach me. Eventually, I don't know when, but eventually. And that's where like you can close bigger deals when they approach you knowing that they have to spend $50,000 on the website. It is a great challenge. I hope you follow along and snatch some of the things that you see. Oh, by the way, I will need freelancers for this. I will need people, and you teach freelancers web design specifically. So we should talk about it after we stop recording.
Good. Yeah, it sounds
because
good.
I will need more people as time progresses.
Awesome. I just want to quickly just mention here something that catches my eye. So first of all, I would recommend that you that our listeners and watchers just follow Jose on Twitter. He really posts a lot of
at Jose Rosado.
Cool. There you go. One of them is you talk about your offer, and you say that you're going to offer as a lead offer, like a web design audit, either around $300 or sometimes free. And then you're going to have like sort of upsellers, as you call it, the value ladder, and it goes up. So it's the lead offer, web design audit, $300, sometimes free. The next one is a landing page, $3,000 to $5,000. And then the final, how can I say, main product that you're selling or main service is a complete web design package, $7,000 to $15,000. But obviously, I mean, the 15,000 is sort of an unlimited symbol, because I mean, that could be 50,000, 100,000, and so on. So bottom line is, it's pretty cool, it's exciting, and your whole focus is you're selling these services, you're driving traffic to a niche which you have not mentioned yet, but that's okay. I'm also private with certain niches that I target. So you're sending targeted traffic through various different means that appeals to that niche, and then you're sending them to your website and various different landing pages with the fact of trying to sell these services. That's pretty much successful web design freelancing in a nutshell.
It is. And I just want to streamline it to the point that here's the goal. I have two goals. Of course, making the $1 million with web design. And secondly, a course. that's the deal too. Have a course that teaches people how to do that. Not how to make $1 million, but how to structure your web design agency in a way that, not even the web design, it's like creative agency, because the process is basically the same in regards to getting clients and selling. Same shit. What differs is the offer, and eventually getting to the point where I can sell, knowing that I did the job, of course, on how to structure your agency, how to hire freelancers, how to like actually manage and run an agency from a third world country, even if you live in a third world country. So it will be very comprehensive. It will be built in public. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot of this information for free as after October 2021. And I hope that a lot of people can find value from it, just from following along the free information. So yeah, I'm very I'm worried, of course, of failing, but what's the worst that can happen? That I make $900,000 instead of 1 million? like, I still a win.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, Jose, this has been awesome. Give our listeners, our watchers, your parting advice, your final nugget tip. What can you give them?
Be courageous. Be courageous. And if you're not courageous enough, fake it. The reality is that people don't know how to differ between being courageous and just doing things even though you're scared. Like, people can't tell the difference. You can be in yourself, crying inside your brain of not wanting to do something. But if you can like fake the confidence, people won't even notice. Be confident, send the emails, drive traffic to the offer, close deals, learn how to get rejected. That's just part of life. Learn how to do that successfully. Reach out to 100 people every other week. Get people on the phone call. Close the deals. Do this a lot of times. Do it for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. And you eventually get to the point that you're going to be charging $5, $10, $20,000 for your services, even more. And then you can build a real business, like a real business where you have yourself as a leader, you have a project manager, you have the copywriter, you have the web designer, you have the graphic designer, you have the illustrator, you have the 3D worker, the video editor. That's how it starts, with you freelancing. Freelancing is step one. Then hiring other freelancers to do your freelancing work is step two. This is what we call agency work. That's basically it. And then you can even hire these freelancers 9 to 5 if you want to like formalize it. But it all starts with courage. Even fake courage, man. Like, it doesn't matter. People can't say the difference. Be courageous, put in the work, drive traffic to the offer, and close deals.
Love it. Awesome. Jose, this has been great. Thank you so much. And for our listeners and watchers, please do check out Jose on Twitter. Pretty much everything is there. He shares a lot of nuggets there. So thank you so much, Jose. I really appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you so much, my man. Bye.
Cool, man. Cool.